I was cutting down a tree in my yard when I noticed something buried underneath it. I quickly brushed away the dirt and found a Buddha statue. I brought it inside and carefully washed it off. That was when I realized the upper half was made of solid gold. I had never seen that much gold in my life. I didn't want anyone else to find out, so I hid the statue in a corner of my basement. From that day on, I couldn't sleep at night. Every time I closed my eyes, all I could think about was that golden statue. Late one night, I waited until my wife fell asleep and quietly slipped into the basement. I picked up the statue and examined it over and over again. The next day, I went to my friend Mike and asked him how much it might be worth. The second he saw the picture, his eyes lit up. He immediately asked where I had gotten it. I lied and said my grandmother had left it to me. When Mike found out I wanted to sell it, he offered to find me a buyer. He just wanted a cut of the money. By the next day, Mike had already found someone. After greeting the buyer, I pulled a bag of rotten fruit out of a large sack. Then I took out a thick bundle of newspapers. I peeled them away one layer at a time until the golden Buddha was finally revealed. The buyer immediately pulled out some professional testing equipment and carefully examined it. Then he offered me only $200,000. I wasn't happy. There was no way a statue this big was worth so little. The buyer claimed these things weren't that rare. If I didn't like his offer, I could sell it to someone else. The problem was, my family was barely getting by. After thinking it over, I accepted the deal. $200,000 was still enough to pull my family out of poverty, so I took the cash home and dumped it all over the couch. My wife and daughter couldn't believe their eyes. They kept asking where the money had come from. I finally told them how I'd found the golden statue. My son had just finished school for the summer, so I even bought a new car to go pick him up. I told my family we didn't have to live so carefully anymore. They could buy whatever they wanted. Then I quickly realized $200,000 wasn't nearly as much as I had imagined. Within just a few days, more than half of it was already gone. My wife told me we needed to start saving. I wasn't worried. I was convinced there had to be more than one statue buried beneath that tree. The next day, I got ready to start digging again. Then Mike suddenly showed up. He had already spent most of his money too. He thought I had some secret way of finding golden statues and wanted to become my partner. I made up a few excuses and finally got him to leave. After that, I couldn't risk digging openly in the yard, so I came up with a better plan. I would start digging from the basement. That way, no one outside would ever see what I was doing. The next day, I took my family out for some fun. Then Mike suddenly called me. He said he had something important to tell me and needed to see me right away. I figured he was just trying to get information out of me again, so I hung up. A few minutes later, he sent me a message. The moment I opened it, I froze. According to the report, the golden Buddha I had sold was actually worth $5 million. I was shaking with rage. I went straight to Mike and demanded an explanation. He told me he had only just found out too. That was when I completely lost it. From that day on, I spent every waking hour digging. I didn't want the neighbors to know what I was doing, so I carried all the dirt into the living room. Before long, the entire house was covered in soil. My wife thought I had completely lost my mind. She ordered me to stop. She even threatened to divorce me if I kept going. I didn't care. I knew there had to be more treasure underground, so I started digging even faster. I even bought a metal detector. Then one day it suddenly started beeping like crazy. I could barely contain my excitement.